in this video, I'm going to talk about on-page SEO. What is on-page SEO? What is important and why we are using on-page SEO. So let's start with the basic definition of on-page SEO. What it is and why we called it on-page SEO. So on-page SEO, which is also known as on-site SEO. So it is the practice of optimizing web pages content for search engine and users. This can involve optimizing both the content and the HTML source code of the pages on your site. So this is basically what your on-page SEO is. Let's suppose this is your website and whatever be the changes you are done in this particular site in terms of your title, description, internal link name. So all these changes comes under your on-page SEO here. Okay. So now what are the on-page ranking factors? On-page ranking factors can have a big impact on your page's ability to rank if optimized properly. The biggest on-page factors that affect search engine ranking are your title tag, your meta description, alt text, your duplicate content, robots.txt file, your robots meta directories, your schema.org markups, your HTTP status code. So these all are the important on-page SEO factors. So we have to work on all these factors just to optimize your website for on-page optimization. Okay. Next, other factors we have is your page speed, conversion rate optimization, your domain, your URL optimization, your canonicalization if you have, we have to improve that, redirects, core web vitals, your performance matrices, that is your opportunities and diagnostics. So these all are the important matrices which you have to focus on. Just to rank your content in 2022, you also need to optimize your content for page loading speed, click-through rate, in terms of user experience, in terms of bounce rate and the dwell time. Bounce rate, when the people visit on your site without clicking anywhere, if the user simply just get back, this is your bounce rate. And whatever be the time user spent on your particular site without clicking anywhere, that particular time is known as dwell time here. User search intent, what type of information they are seeking, like their search intent is informational, or if they are doing transactional, navigational, whatever be the search intent your users have. So you have to need to optimize your content for all these factors. So in this video, I'm going to talk about title optimization. In this video, we will cover what is title tag, how you can do title optimization. So let's start with a brief definition about title tag. So what is title tag here? The title tag is the tag which is shown at the top of the web page like this. It tells the user as well as the search engine about what the web page is about. What's the information inside your web page? For example, here you can see that our title is HTML title tag example. So it means in this particular page, we will learn about your title tag. Okay. So this is your title tag. So this is included in the head section of your web page code. For title tag, what is the code we have? Our code is denoted like this. Here we have, this is your HTML title tag here, and this is your close title tag. Let me explain you. For any particular website, how can you figure out where is your title tag and what it is? For this, I'm just going to show you a demo on that. In that case, here, this is my website. Okay. And in this website, let me explain you how you can find title tag. For this, you have to simply do right click here. You have to click on inspect element. In this, you have to simply find out your title tag by simple entering title here. Okay. In that case, here you can see the Digital Marketing Academy Learn Digital with us. This is your title. This title is for this particular website. And from where you can see this particular title? This particular title is mentioned at here. Mentioned here. Where this is your web page, and in this particular web page, this is your title here. Okay. So this is the way you can figure out your title. Now, the title tag is one of the most important elements of the search engine optimization because it helps to improve your search engine ranking. In your search engine result page, if your website is visible, in that case, you can see your title here, and then after you can see your meta description here. Okay. So title tag, this is the tag here, which you can see on your search engine result page or at the top bar in your web page. Right title brings a lot of traffic to your website, so make sure that your web page title should be catchy and makes the user to click your website, because that is the first title which your user can see on your search engine result page. Now, the next thing we have is the benefit of optimizing title. If you do optimization of your title tag, in that case, it helps to increase search engine ranking. It results in the higher click-through rate, because if your title is eye-catchy, in that case, it can attract users to your website, because your title tag is the one which can explain a little description about your website content. It can provide information to the user what the web page is about, as it is also shown in the search engine result page. So now, these are some tips for title tag optimization. Before creating a title for a web page, make sure you have all the targeted keywords ready. This will help you to make the title according to the keyword you want to target for the web page. Now, how can you do optimization of your title tag? For your title tag, what you have to do, here we have a list of keywords here. Let's suppose your primary keyword here is online marketing. Online marketing. Let's suppose this is the keyword you have. So, in your title tag, you must have to mention your keyword here. This is the first pointer. Second, you always try to mention this particular keyword in the beginning. That is the good step here, if you can do. So, these are the 2 pointers you have to keep in mind when you are writing your title tag. Create unique title tag for every single web page of the website. Here we have, let's suppose this is my website here. In this particular website, we have, these are the web pages available here. Okay. So let's suppose for your particular website, you have one title here. So you can mention this particular title under your title. For your web page A, let's suppose you again have one title, but that particular title you have to mention in your header section. You have to mention this particular title in H1 tag. Again for B and C, you again mention your title in your H1 tag here. Okay. And this is also the one of the difference between your title tag and your H1 tag, that your title tag is for complete website. This is the title which you can see here, and H1 tag is for this particular web page. Any title for particular web page you can mention in your H1 tag, and any title for complete website you can mention in your title tag. Okay. So for every single page you have to take unique title. Create a title that is relevant to your content of the web page. Let's suppose if you are writing your particular website content or your web page content on online marketing, so you must have to put that particular relevant keyword in your title, and your title of the page must be relevant to the content, whatever be the content you are writing on your web page. It should exactly tell the users and the search engine about the information on the page. So you have to keep in mind all these points when you are writing your title tag, because these are the essential steps which help you to optimize your title tag. Write important keyword or the primary keyword first, then use keyword that are less important. Let's suppose if you are using keyword that is online marketing. This is your primary keyword here. So you must have to mention this particular keyword first in your title tag. Second, you can use their alternate keyword or their semantic keyword like internet marketing, digital marketing. You can use these keywords after your online marketing keyword. Don't stuff the title with excessive keywords. Let's suppose if you are using online marketing. So you don't need to add this particular keyword 2 or 3 times in your title. You just need to put this particular keyword only in one time. Don't repeat this particular keyword again and again or too many times. Make a descriptive title. Try to avoid use excessive hyphens or the pipelines. But why we are not using hyphens and the pipeline in your title tag? Let's suppose you have title like what is digital marketing? What is digital marketing? And here you put your hyphens and say our best tool for digital marketing. For digital, here you can mention digital and you can just put down pipelines here. So what happened in that particular case, that is possible that on your search engine result page, only this particular heading is visible. Okay. And after your hyphen, this particular text is not visible. Or after this particular pipeline, that particular text is not visible. Why? Because sometimes search engine consider this hyphen and the pipeline that the text after your hyphen or the pipelines is the second text. So that's why they only visible the text which is before your hyphen or the pipeline. So that's why you have to avoid excessive hyphens or the pipelines here, and you have to make your title. So in this video, I'm going to talk about meta description. In this video, we will learn what is meta description, how it's look like, and what is its impact on your search engine ranking. So let's start with a brief definition of meta description. Let us understand what is meta description. So meta description is an HTML element that provides a brief summary of a web page. Any information which you have on your web page, that particular information you can give a descriptive overview on your search engine result page. That is your meta description here. A page's meta description tag is displayed as a part of your search snippet in a search engine result page and is meant to give the user an idea of the content that exists within the page and how it relates to your search query. For example, if someone searches on Google, let's suppose if you search on Google any particular query, for corresponding to your query, you can get some result. And in these results, you can get meta description over here. Let me explain you how your meta description look like. For example, if on Google, when you simply type online marketing, let's suppose this is your keyword here. When you mention this particular keyword, then you can get corresponding result which is relevant to your query. In these results here you can see, let's suppose this is the result you have. So this is your title, that is what is online marketing hyphen definition from Tactopedia. And online marketing is a set of tools and methodology. This is your meta description here, which explain that what is the information inside this particular web page. So this particular set of description is known as meta description here. This is the first point of contact. This is the first description which your user learn on the search engine result page about your web page. Next we have search engine result page example. Here as you can see one example there. This is the another example where this is your URL of the website. This is your landing page URL. After that this is known as your title and this is known as your meta description. So this meta description is appear on your search engine result page. Now, what is the HTML code for this particular meta description? Here we have in the head section, you have meta description which is written in the form of like meta name, that is description, content. Whatever be the description you want to write, you have to write in the semicolons like this is an example of the meta description. This will often show up in the search result and closer of your head tag. So you can find your page meta description within the head section. Most CMS will allow you to edit this particular markup and change your meta description either directly within the code or via the meta description field within the page meta description section. Okay, here you can see that we have this particular title here. This is the title you have and this is the meta description you have for this particular website. Okay. So this is the example of meta description here. Now, optimal meta description length. Now let's talk something about your meta description length. So meta description can technically be any length. but Google generally truncates snippets to 155 to 160 characters only. So it's best to keep your meta descriptions long enough that they are sufficiently descriptive. So we recommended that your meta description length should be between 15 and 160 character, because after your 160 character, your meta description will look like in this form. So that is a wrong impact. So you have to summarize your complete web page in your meta description form and in your 50 to 160 character length. So keep in mind that the optimal length will vary depending on the situation, and your primary goal should be to provide value and the drive length. Okay, so it's also depend on the side to side, whatever be the meta description you are using here. Now, why are meta description important for SEO? The meta description can impact a page click-through rate in your Google search engine result page. How we can see that? See, on your Google search engine result page, you can see your particular website title and meta. Meta description is the first descriptive content about your web page. When users read about this particular information, in that case, they can get an idea about whatever be the information they can find on your web page. These are the webmaster's opportunity to advertise content to the searchers, because searchers can look at this particular content and then they can make in mind that after clicking this particular website, they can find the content which is relevant to this particular description. So the searcher's chances to decide whether the content is likely to be relevant to their search query and contain the information they are seeking. So meta description have an indirect impact on search ranking. It's not direct impact, but indirectly it is helpful. How it is helpful? Because they are significantly impact users' behavior. So that's why we can consider meta description is also one of the important factor of your on-page SEO. So you must have to optimize your meta description along with your title optimization. Now, the meta description in the social share. This is the example here. In this particular example, here you can see that for this particular website, when we mention this particular site link on your Facebook, this is a company move, and this is the example from this particular company Facebook page. Here in your Facebook, when we mention this particular link here, okay, so along with your site title, we can also get description here. This is the title here, that is accelerate your SEO knowledge, and this is the description we have. So along with your title, we also got your meta description here, which describes something about your website. So social sharing like your Facebook commonly use a page meta description tag as the description that appear when the page is shared on the site. So without the meta description tag, social sharing site may just use the first text they can find. That is the first text they can find, so they can only use that particular point of content if you are not using your meta description. How do I write a good meta description? Now these are some steps here which we have to follow if we want to optimize our meta description. First of all, you have to include compelling and the copy of your description. This is just an example here. This is a copy here, how you can write this. Now you have to avoid duplicating meta description. Here in this particular example, as you can see that we have different pages here, but for all different pages, we have same meta description here. So this practice we have to avoid. We have to use separate meta description for different pages. For individual page, you must have unique title and unique meta description here, because unique description and unique title can make your web page unique and help you to optimize your web page and meta description. So as with your title tag, each page meta description should be directly relevant to the page it describes and unique from the descriptions for other pages. Next, you have to avoid quotation mark in your description. So this is the double quotation mark you have when you are used within the meta description HTML. In that case, Google recognizes them as a signal to truncate the description from that particular point, and it will automatically cut off the rest of the content. For example, if you simply mention about like digital marketing is good. In that case, Google will consider that this is your second sentence and this is your first sentence. In that case, they automatically cut this sentence and they can only show you this particular content on your search engine result page snippet. So to prevent this from happening, your best bet is to remove all the non-alphanumeric characters from your meta description. You have to avoid auto-generated description. If you not mentions your meta description in your web page, in that case, Google will automatically generate description. And how they can generate description, they can consider the relevant keyword, and along with your relevant keyword, whatever be the information you are using, they take that information from your web page and display that information on Google search engine result page. This is your auto-generated description. But this is the bad practices because this is not the complete description about your web page. In that case, you have to generate your own meta description to avoid auto-generated description. Don't write description that have no relation to the content of the page. In that case, what the practice you have to avoid, like let's suppose you write one meta description by using your particular keyword. But if that particular keyword or the content you are mentioning is not available in your web page, so that is the wrong practice here. You only have to write that description which is mentioned in your web page or whatever be the information is available on your web page. Meta description should be informative and interesting. In that case, you have to take care of both. Meta description must give information about your web page and it must be interesting that user visit on your website after reading your particular meta description. A good description summarize your page content. Whatever be the information you have in your web page, that particular information is summarized by your meta description. Include keyword in description. Just like you can mention your keyword in your title, in the same way you have to mention your particular keyword in your meta description. Next, give users reason to visit your website. You have to add your product features and benefit. Let's suppose if you have any e-commerce website and here you want to write meta description for your web page. Any particular web page to contain your product or services. In that case, what the practice you have to follow? You must write your product features, like what are the special features in this particular product. You can mention this just to attract your visitors. You want your description be stand out, not be the same as your competitor. Here you have to write your meta description in the way that user will visit on your website. You have to take ideas about your competitor website, how they write their meta description. You need not to copy that, but you have to improve your meta description in that. Users are always looking for up-to-date information. You can also mention, for example, if you mention any new trends in your web page. In that case, you can also mention in your meta description that we are going to discuss about some new trends because some updated information you are going to explain in your web page. So that also attract your users. By this way, you can also create users for your web page. Now, as we understand what is meta description and what are the strategies to optimize your meta description. Now we have some types here. We have different type of meta description. First, we have clarity focused meta description. What is this? In that case, your meta description must be clear to your audience. For example, this is the example you can see here. That is the Nerd Fitness is a fitness website for the nurse and the average Jaws, helping you losing weight, get stronger and eat better. So the information is clear here. So that is known as clarity focused meta description. Next we have USP focus. That is your unique selling price focused. And what is a unique selling price you have? That is get free shipping and returns. This is a unique selling price, 24/7 customer services, 365 days return policy. That is your USP here. Okay. So in case of USP focused meta description, we have to focus on our USP. Next we have question focus. Just to attract our visitors, we can also take this particular strategy, that is your question focused meta description. In that case, we can simply ask question to our user like, interested in learning more about SEO in 2019? So here are the key trends you need to follow to improve your search optimization skills. So by using this particular type of question, you can also create your meta description. Next we have purpose focused. In case of purpose focused, here we have to mention purpose. Like with every product you purchase, Toms will help a person in need 141. And these are the site links available in this particular meta description. By this way, you can also create meta description here. Next we have call to action. For example, if any action you want that people should do on your particular web page, so you can also mention that particular call to action in your meta description. Just like download the full version of Adobe Photoshop for free. If user want to download this particular Adobe Photoshop software, in that case you can mention in the description here. And after reading this particular description, they simply visit on your website and do that desired action. Next we have offer focused meta description. In that case, as its name shows, offer focused. Whatever be the offer you are offering to your users, you can mention it in your meta description so that people will attract that and visit to your website to avail that particular offer. So these are some strategies, or you can see these are some types of meta description which you can use when you are creating your meta description here. Next we have word power focused. Word like free advice, career advice, expert advice, these are the powerful words which you can use in your meta description to attract your users. Just like as you can see in this particular example, we have free, expert, career advice. These are the powerful words which we have focused. Next we have special characters. Just to make your meta description interesting, you can also add some special characters like these checkbox are the special icons here which we use in our particular meta description. Next we have solution focused. In case of solution focused, here we have to write one question here. Whatever be the question you think that your users want to know, after that you have to mention that particular solution. After reading that particular solution, it makes users aware that in that particular web page they can get their solution, and that's why they click on your website and they visit on your website for finding that particular answer. Okay, so these are some type available here. So these are the type of meta description here. Now the question is, how can we do meta description on our website? How can we do title optimization and meta description on our website? For this, let me show you a live demo here. How can you write meta description for your website? For this, I'm just taking example of one of the website here. This is one website here. On your website, first of all, you have to install one plugin here for doing SEO. And that plugin is known as all-in-one SEO. To download your plugin, you have to simply click on plugin. You have to simply click on add new. After click on add new, you have to simply mention the name of the plugin you want to install. Let's suppose here I want all-in-one SEO. You have to simply mention that. After that, you can get this particular tool. Here you have to click on this particular install now button. And after click on install now you have one option, that is activate. You have to click on activate, and now this particular plugin is added in your dashboard window. If you are not finding this in your dash window, you have to simply check it in your install plugin option, where you find all-in-one plugin option there. Here you can see your all-in-one plugin, and in that case you have some SEO setting option here. You can also do it from here. Okay, so let me click on all-in-one SEO. After click on that, now you have to simply click on launch the setup with one. Click on get started. Here, as I already download one SEO plugin that is used SEO here, so let me connect that. Here you have to do some setting here. These are your home page settings. In that case, you have to choose which category best describe your website. Let's suppose your website is your small offline business, or you can say your blog, whatever be your website category you can choose. Let's suppose I simply choose one blog here. Okay. After choosing that, now you have to choose your home page title. For this, by default, you have your website title, that is your Digital Marketing Academy, then your separator, and then your tagline, that is Learn Marketing Business. In that case, if you want to choose your home page title, you have to remove that, or you have to write your own title. Let's suppose here I mentioned that is Digital Marketing Academy hyphen learn digital marketing with us. Okay. Here, let's suppose our keyword is digital marketing here. So I'm using this particular keyword here. So by this way, you can write your title here. By this way, you can optimize your title tag. After that, you have to write your meta description. For writing your meta description, you have to give a brief description about your website. In that case, you can mention learn digital marketing with, let's suppose you can write this particular meta description here. Okay. After writing your meta description, you have to simply click on save and continue. Okay. By this way, you can add your title and meta description here, and after that you have to do your further settings. Okay. This is the one way here. We also have another way how you can do meta description here. Let's suppose here you can write meta description of your homepage. Okay. Now the question is how you can write meta description for any individual post or any individual page. Okay. Let's suppose as we have so many pages here. So how can you write meta description for your web pages? Here let's suppose this is your front page. And now you want to write your meta description for this particular page. So what you have to do, you have to simply click on edit. After do editing, this is the page we have. In this particular page, this is the page we have. After this particular page, you have all-in-one SEO setting here. In this setting option, in your journal, this is the snippet preview here. How this particular page is look like on Google. Okay. Now, if you want to edit your page title, you can add it from here. If you want to edit your meta description, you can add it. Okay. Any key phrase which you are focusing on, you have to edit that. That is digital. Okay. Here you add this particular keyword here. After adding this, now these are the suggestions you have, that these focus keyword you have to add in your subheading, or you also have to add in your image alt and input. Okay. By this way, you can add your title and meta description for any particular page. So here I just give you example of how to add this particular meta description and title in your website. So in this video, I'm going to talk about header tag. What is header tag? What's the tag structure? And how to add header tag in HTML. So let's start with what is header tag. Header tag, also known as heading tags, which are used to separate your headings and the subheading on a web page. They rank in order of importance from your H1 to H6. And H1 is usually your title. That is your big heading. This is your H1 here. And for this particular big heading, now we have another heading. That is your H2 here. H2 is the subheading of your H1 here. Again, you have H3, which is the subheading of your H2 here. So by this way, we can use this particular tag here. These are our heading tags here, which we can use in our web page just to do differentiate between our headings and subheading. So header tag improve the readability and SEO of a web page. Now, what are the tags we have? We have 6 different tags in your heading tag. Start with your H1, we have H2, then H3, H4, and we have up to H6. These are the 6 different type of heading tags here. Let's start with H1 tag. H1 is the title of particular post. They are usually keyword centric, focused around the big idea of the page or the post, and craft to grab a reader's attention. Let's suppose this is your post page here, and this is the title of your particular post. So that particular title you can write in your H1 tag, or by default it is in your H1 tag. Next we have h2 tag. Any subheading if you want to give these all headings in your h2 tag. These are the subheaders that classify the main points of your paragraph and separate sections. Consider using semantic keyword related to the big idea in your h1 while also helping the readers easily find the sections they want to read. Again, we have h3 tag. So these are the subsections that clarify the points made in the h2. Further, alternatively, they can be used in the formatting list or bullet points. So these are the tags available here. Now, this is the tag structure. For example, this is your title which represents the big idea of the post that you have to return in your h1 tag. After that, you have first point, then you have to write in the h2 tag. Again, you have second point, you have to write in h2 tag. Then you have subheading of this particular tag here. You have to write this in your h3 tag. Again, for h3, you can take subheading in your h4 tag. By this way, you can create your tag structure and you can write your post in this particular way. Now the question is, what is h1 tag? Now let's understand h1 tag in detail. In h1 tag is the first and the most important heading tag in the structural hierarchy of a page or a post. This is the topmost heading of your particular page. It typically notes the page or the post titles. h1 tag should always be at the top of your page before the rest of the content. So that's why h1 tag is very important, because h1 tag is the first point of content which your users use before reading your complete post. For this particular h1 tag, you have to write h1 tag in this way, that this is the summarized form of this particular content. When users read your h1 information, so they can understand that this particular information is the summarized form of the content. After reading your h1 tag, they consider that your whole content is relevant to this particular headline. Now, the question is, how many header tags are supported by HTML? HTML is a language here, and this particular language we can use for writing our web pages. And in this particular language, we have 6 different types of header tags. And in these header tags, here you can see that this is the biggest tag, this is the biggest heading here. After that, you have h2 tag, which is smaller than or the subheading of your h1. Again, h3, which is the subheading of h2. h4, which is subheading of h3. Again, h5, which is the subheading of h4. And h6 tag, which is subheading of your h5. So, HTML support up to 6 header tags here from h1 to h6, and you can use to structure your page as needed. They can be stylized visually according to your brand, and with the exception of the h1, you can have as many of these tags on a web page. On a single web page, you can use only one h1 tag here. After that, you can use as many h2, h3 and other tags as possible as according to your content. Now, the question is how to add header tag in HTML. This is the example here, how to add this particular tag with the help of your HTML coding. Here you have starting h1 tag, and this is the closing of h1 tag. And this is the result which you are getting on your page here. Okay. So adding your header tag in HTML is purely simple process. Here this is notated by your h1. So you can add by this way. This is the very simple process here. Let me explain you with the help of one demo how you can add your h1, h2, h3 tag in your particular post. For this, let me take example of one of the website here. This is the website we have. In your website, we have one particular post. This is the dashboard we have. In that particular dashboard, let me visit the particular post. In your post section, let me click on all posts. Here we have, this is the title of your post. Okay, this is the post we have. First of all, we have this particular heading here. Okay, for this particular heading, let me click on that. This heading is in, by default, this particular heading is in your h1 tag. After that, if I want to add any further heading, how can we do that? Here, let's suppose here I want to create one heading How can we do that? We have to simply click on this add block option here and we have to click on heading. Okay. By default here you can see that you have only H2 heading option available here, because this particular heading is your H1 heading, and after that any heading you can add, that is your H2 heading. Let's suppose here you can add H2 heading, that is e-commerce website. Let's suppose this is your H2 heading. If now you want to take any subsection of this particular website here, if you want to add paragraph, you can write your paragraph here. Again, after that, if you want to add any another headline, you have to simply click on that. You have to change your headline and you have to write your another subheading. Let's suppose this is the subheading. So here you can see that traditional, this is the subheading of your e-commerce website, and e-commerce website is the subheading of this particular H1 tag, or you can say your header tag, your title tag. Okay, so this is the title of this particular page and these two are the subheadings here. By this way, you can create your heading in this particular post. By using this particular heading here, you can see that you can make your post as effective. Here you can see this is your H2 tag. After that, this is your H3 tag. And if further you want to create any another heading here, you have to use your H3 tag. By this way, you can use your tag here. So this is a demo example here, how you can add H1, how you can add your tag in your website post. So now the question is, what is the difference between your heading tag and your title tag? Here you can hear two terms. One is your title, one is your header. Okay. In case of heading tag, here we can see that for that particular post, we have heading tag. That is your H1 tag here. And for your complete website, we have title tag. So let me show you how. Example here. Title tag is for complete website. Title tag is known as your meta tag here, and this is shown at the head of the web page just like this. And that is not the part of your actual content. You would not see the title tag on the page. And the title you can show on your page, that is your H1 here. And the title which you see on the top of your bar just like this, this is your title here. So this is the difference between your title and H1 tag. Your title tag, which is visible on your search engine result page, on your web page title, that is your title, and your header, which you can see on your web page title, on your web page title here. This is your H1 tag here. Okay, so H1 is visible on the page and it usually most prominent text that tell the visitor what to expect on that particular page. And the title tag, which help the search engine to understand what your content is all about. For the H1, which is the heading of the page, Google gives it more attention because it is the largest thing user can see on your web page. Now, these are some H1 composition guidelines. The H1 header can be used only once on the page. The length is usually up to 50 characters and you must have to include your keyword in your H1 tag. The H1 subject intersects exclusively with what is discussed in the text section. Whatever be the primary keyword you decide, you must have to mention your primary keyword in your H1, or you can say the title of your page. So in this video, I'm going to talk about URL optimization. In this video, we will learn what is URL and how you can do URL optimization in your WordPress website. So let's start with a brief definition about URL optimization. What URL optimization is? So basically, URL optimization is a technique or a process under which we optimize the URL slug structure of a web page in order to make your web page more understandable by the search engine crawler. How we can do that? Let me show you live demo here. For this, let's suppose this is my website and this is the dashboard of my website here. Okay, let's suppose if you create one post here and now you want to change your URL slug, in that case, let me show you how you can do that. First of all, you have to open your post here. If you want to create new, you have to click on add new option here. Okay, then we simply added this particular post here. And now in this particular post, I will explain you how you can change URL for this particular post. Okay, this is the post you have. Now, if we want to change particular URL for this post, here you can see that for this particular post, we have this URL here. Okay, but this particular URL is not in human readable form, or you can say your search engine readable. So now what we have to do, we have to simply edit that particular URL so that it is in human readable form. In that case, you have to simply go to your SEO plugin. This is my SEO plugin here. Here we simply have to edit my URL here. Here we simply have to edit my URL. For edit my URL, what we have to do, we have to check your snippet preview here. This is your snippet preview here, and this is the particular link for this particular website here. Okay. Now we just want to edit this particular URL here. For this, simply click on the setting option. After that, here you can see that we have this particular URL slug here. Okay. From there, you can change this particular slug. Let's suppose for this particular post, how can you do that? You have to change slug. Let's suppose traditional website. Okay. Let's suppose this is the slug we added here. This is the URL slug for this particular post. Here you can see how this particular post will look like. This is the URL slug here. So by this way, you can simply change this particular slug. Okay. Now when you add this particular slug, so it is important that you must have to mention that particular keyword here. Whatever be the primary keyword for this particular post you have, that particular keyword you must have to mention in your URL slug. For example, for this particular post, now we have one keyword, that is e-commerce. This is the keyword we have. So what you have to do, you have to simply mention this particular keyword in your slug. This is your URL slug here, and here you have to mention your keyword. Along with your keyword, you can mention any text you want to add. This is your slug, URL slug. Okay. By this way, you can simply add that, and now you have to click on update. So by this way, you can simply add URL slug in your WordPress website. What is the meaning of URL here? URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. It is the web address of any file which is available on www, that is your World Wide Web, which can be accessible by anyone at any point of time. So this is the meaning of URL here. Now the question is, how URL important? So URL optimization is important because it is the one of the main steps in the process of the search engine optimization of a website, because in that case, you can simply edit your URL of your particular web page or your particular post and make it in your human readable form or your search engine readable form. So that search engine considered that if your URL have this particular keyword, then must be your particular web page or the post must be relevant to this particular keyword here. It helps the search engine crawler to understand your web page topic and increase the chances that page with optimized URL to get found on the relevant searches in the search engine. So that's why we can say that URL optimization is important. Now the question is, how does we consider bad and the good SEO URL look like? So there are many types of URL available on the web, but the ones that are clearly defined are always promoted by the search engine crawler because they are easy to read and understand. Here, just look at some example here. This is your first example. Here you can see that we have this some text here, then we have some number here. So can we understand that what are the information this particular code is trying to say? So the answer is no. So this is your bad SEO URL. Again with the next case, here you can see this is a word here, then we have again some text, then we have again some number here. This is also your bad SEO practices. Next we have some special characters here. This is also your bad SEO practice, but in the next here you can see service name. So it's clearly defined that this particular web page gives us information about services name, service name location. This is also give you same information. Again, you have one breadcrumb here, that is your first category, then soap, then dove. It means this particular web page is about this particular dove, and that is the category under your soap, and that again is your category here. So this is your good URL, good SEO URL here. Next we have part of URL. So when we are doing URL optimization, so it's compulsory to learn about the part of URL here. First we have HTTP, or you can say HTTPS. HTTP, which stands for your Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This part is the protocol of a URL address. This is the only part in a URL which can't be changed when it comes to optimize. Okay. Next we have blog, which is your subdomain. What is the subdomain? Subdomain are used for those parts of your website that are different in themselves from the content of the website, maybe a blog, testimonial, etc. Okay, so these are subdomains. Next we have domain name. Just like you have domain name Rank Watch or your WsCube Tech, so these all are your domain here. So it is the name of your website. Here you can see Rank Watch, it is the domain name, and it is recommended to choose a brand related domain instead of an exact match domain. Next we have .com, which is your top level domain. It is your website's domain extension. That is your .com, that can be your .org, .edu. These are also some common examples of your top level domain. Here we can say that .com, this is for commercial. Again, if we are using .edu, this is for your education. Again, if we are using .org, that is for organization. So it can also be country specific, just like your .in, which is for Indian. So here you have to use one top level domain here. After that, then we have /technology. What is this technology defined? This is your category. It is the website subfolder, or you can say path. This need to be descriptive. For example, just like here we can use technology here. This is the category here. And after that, this is your product. Product, which is the actual page of the website that has been clicked for. So these are the part of URL. Okay. Now the question is how to optimize this particular URL. As now we understand what is this URL, how can we change URL slug for any particular post or any particular web page. So now the question is how to optimize this particular URL. So now we have some steps here which we have to follow to optimize our URL structure. So the first step is you have to avoid parameters. What this parameter is? Parameters are the variable that are added to the URLs. Just like you can add this. So the above URL can be understood as the URL of a website that sells different brand, and that text, which is that !/ brand ID, this is your parameter. So now you have to avoid this type of parameter here. It is always advisable, instead of adding any complicated parameters, prefer using real and the clear descriptive words. Just like here in this particular example, we are using this, that is brand name here. This is the clear words that are understandable by user and as well as your search engine also. And after that, you can mention your / and then you can name this particular ID. So this is the best practices we have to follow. After this, now the next we have the battle of hyphens and underscore. So Google always prefers hyphens over underscore. When it comes to URL structure, its ports are not programmed to treat underscore as word separate. So underscores are neither SEO friendly nor user friendly. Let's look at the example here. If your URL is like this, if you are using underscore, like how _to _make. In that case, how your search engine read it as how to make your website, means without any spacing. And it is obviously that when people would want to search for this particular query, then they would put spaces in between. So in such cases, the chances of your visibility on the search engine result page would be drastically reduced. But when you use hyphens, in that case, search engine might read it as how to make your website rank better. This is exactly the same your user mentioned in the query. Making your website rank better, website rank, how to make your website rank. So these all are the form how your search engine read if you are using this particular hyphen here. So now the result is that we have to use hyphen instead of underscore. Next we have no capitals. This should be strictly avoided in a URL just in a case if you are not aware. Let me tell you example.com/keyword. Example.com/ is different URL than your example.com/keyword. Here you can see this is small k and this is your capital K. So the capital letter in your URLs encrypt the URL, making it incredibly difficult to remember. So that's why you always have to use only small letters here. You don't use capital words here. Next we have keywords in URL. Keywords are equally important for your URLs. So try to include the exact keyword or your keyword phrase in your URL, but don't overdo it. The important keyword should be kept at the beginning of the URL as the search engine pay greater attention towards the part. Example, just like this. Here you can see example.com/dresses/red. If not possible on the home page itself, so try to including the keyword in the URL for your blog or article or your tool pages. Next we have block bed URL with robot.txt. As we all know that robot.txt is a file. With the help of this, here we can simply ban any particular URL that crawler does not read that any particular information from this particular URL. Okay. So there might be some of the pages on your website which you would not want the search engine to index. This might be some sensitive information or a page not so connected with your website. So you would not want to rank with such pages. So it's better you block these URLs with robot.txt file. You simply copy that URL and you have to mention that URL in your robot.txt file with the structure as disallow / mention that particular URL. By doing this practice, here you can give instructions to your search engine crawler that you don't need to index this particular URL. Next we have paginated URL. This is somewhat similar to your canonical tags. Suppose you have an e-commerce website or any website for that matter, and you have a category pages which include a lot of items which can't be displayed on a single page. In such scenario, more than one page is required for the listening. For example, if the category is of Apple laptop and containing 50 plus items, so these can't be displayed on a single page, so it might require 2 or 3 pages. So its paginated pages would have URL like here you can see example.com Apple laptop page 1, example.com Apple laptop page 2. So here you need to add any canonical tag to these paginated URL using the tag like reel, canonical, or you can say reel, preview, reel, next, tag for the same. So here this is a URL which you can use to avoid this paginated. So this is also one of the practice you can use. Next we have is the canonical URL. When you need to serve content that has more than one URL, then canonical tags are your savior. When there is more than one URL for the same page, then the main version is referred to as canonical, and the canonicalization is basically picking out the best URL where they are serving choice. Just like here, these are the examples. One with your www.example.com, this is your example.com. Again, let's suppose you have http as www.example.com, https example.com, and here these are some examples here. Next we have www versus non-www. If you have two domain versions of your website, one is your like this and another version is like this, and both www and non-www URLs are serving the same content, then you might face problem regarding the duplicacy of the content, because now search engine consider these as a two website, one with this particular domain name and one with this particular domain name. So to avoid such situation, you must first choose the preferred domain, that is your canonical, which sees, and then 301 redirect all the other non-canonical to the preferred domain. Example, this should be 301 redirected to this particular domain name here. So that's how you can fix this particular issue here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about image optimization. How we can do image optimization in our WordPress website. So let's start with the basic definition of alt tag. Alt tag which we are going to use in our image optimization part. So let's understand what this alt tag is. So an alt tag is defined as an alternative text. The full form of alt tag is alternative text applied to an image on your web page. The alt tag is readable by the screen readers and the viewers in the form of alternative text to the image. Let's suppose this is your web page. When I open this particular web page, in that case, if due to some issue your image is not visible, in that case your alternative text is visible here. In that case, we can understand that this particular image belongs to this particular text. So this is your alt tag here. Now, what is this alt attribute? This is the another name given to the alt tag, and it is an attribute of the img tag. What is this img tag? We can use img tag to add any image in your web page. When an image does not appear on your web page due to any error, the alt text appears instead of your image and giving you an idea about what is that image about. And the text displayed is your alternative text here. How you can set alt tag? See, in your web page, we have this particular attribute, that is your img src image.gif. This particular tag we can use to adding this particular image. Okay, this is the image file here. This is the HTML code here. We can use this particular code to add image in our web page. And after that, we have to use this particular attribute, that is alt. This is your alt tag. Alt equals to whatever be the alt tag you want to add. For your alt tag, it's compulsory that you have to mention your primary keyword there, just to optimize your image. Now, the question is, are alt tags really important? Yes, it is very important because they help in understanding the content of your web page and are easily available to the viewers to understand the image. Search engine use alt text to determine what is the search query and revert with the suitable image as an answer to the query. Alt attribute helps in utilizing your keyword you want to target on and make sure that you are using the right alt text for the particular image. What is the definition of right alt text here? The definition is that whatever be the alt text you are using here, your particular image belongs to this particular text only. It doesn't happen that here you are writing your keyword here. Let us suppose you are writing e-commerce and your image is not belonging to this. So this is not happening here. In that case, to use your right alt text, your alt text must include your keyword and that particular keyword must belong into your particular image. Your alt text should not be keyword stuffed. Keyword stuffed means you are not using your particular keyword multiple times. Just like for any particular image, if you write e-commerce and e-commerce is up, so you don't do keyword stuffing there just to rank your image. Try keeping your alt tag short, descriptive and relevant to the image they are being used Now the question is how we can add this particular alt tag in our WordPress site. So let me show you a live demo here how you can do that. For this is my WordPress website. In my WordPress website, here I created one post. So for that, you have to click on post. Here, as we already created one post, in this particular post, I will explain how you can add particular image and how you can add all text for particular image. Let's suppose here I want to add image. In that case, you have to click on add block. In this, you can add any kind of image. You have to simply type image here, and then you have image option is here. Instead of this, you can also choose another option of adding this image here. Even you can also add your image text as well. Image text is like this, like one is your media file and then next is your text file. So you can also add like this. These are the some pictorial representation of this particular blog post here. Okay. So let's suppose we only want to add any image here. So you have to simply select image. Okay. After that, you have to click on upload. Then you have to choose your image here. Let's suppose here we have one image that is e-commerce, which is related to my particular blog post. Let's suppose I choose this particular image. When you are adding this particular image, see now your image is going to download here. Then you have to click on show more setting. In this particular setting, we have options here. Let me add that. Okay. Now we are done with that. After that, you can add text over your image. You have option of cropping here. You have option of insert link here if you want to add. So these are the options available here for this particular post. Now you have to click on these three dots and you have to click on add it as HTML. You can also add your alt text here. Here you can see that your alt equals to class. So this is your alt text which is added here. Now what you have to do, you have to simply mention your keyword here which is relevant to your image. So here I added this particular alt text here. Okay. Now you have to click on. Now you have to simply scroll down and you have to simply click enter. Okay. So by this way you can simply add alt tag in your image. Even you also have option here that is the image style, default. Here you can also add your alt text in your. Simply click on that, click on show more setting and then you have option here that is alt text. You can also add your alt text from here also. Okay. So this is all about how you can add alt text in your WordPress site. So this is the option here. Then another setting if you want to do for this particular image, you can also do it from here. Next we have, after doing that, then we have basic of using alt tag in SEO. First of all, we have short text. The alt text should be kept concise because the longer the alt text, the lesser is its impact. So describe the image completely with less number of words, because long floral tags may get inefficient to a text. So that's why you have to keep concise your alt text in short. Next is be precise. In that case, while describing the product for an e-commerce business, the alt text should describe the product within the image so that it show up with relevant results. Next we have no keyword stuffing. So keyword stuffing is punishable by Google. Google will penalize you if you are stuffing keyword in your alt text. For example, let's say for a red jacket you are writing, you can say red jacket, red ladies, hoodies, red. So here you can see that you can use red word multiple times. So this is something which is going haywire. So it's better to use simple description and you are good to go. Next, mention topic in alt text. So you should mention the keyword in an alt text because Google is very smart. So alt text help Google to determine the topic of the page, what's in the topic. So alt text gives you an idea to the user. Next we have test your image. So test your image that whether you have placed right alt text to the particular image, are your image showing alt text correctly or not. So these are the some basics of alt text here. Next we have bad versus good alt text. So in that case we have some recommendation here, that is, don't use dashes in your alt text. Write normally and try to describe in a few words what the image is about. Use your keywords that are relevant to the content of the page, but don't overdo it. Here we have some example. For example, in the first case, here you can see that we can use this particular tag in which you have img, src and your image name. The alt tag is missing here. In the next, you can see that we have alt tag, but we have repetition of this particular keyword here, that is copies, and again we have copies. Okay, so you have repetition of this. So this is known as keyword stuffing here. Next we have better. In case of better, here we have image src. This is our image file here. We also have our alt tag, but your alt tag is not complete. It's not concise. It's not completely describing what your image is about. So that's why it's in better but not the best way of writing your alt text. Next what is the best way? In that case, here you can see that we have alt tag here, and here alt tag is completely describing what your image is about, what the activity is happening in this particular image. So that is the best practices of adding alt tag here. Next we have different types of the image file. When you simply upload any image file on your web page, in that case we have basically three types of file here. One is your JPG, or you can say JPEG, which means your joint photographic export group. So this is a file here in which we have extension like this. Next we have GIF, which stands for graphic interchange format. Here we have file type and end with .gifs. Next we have PNG, which means portable network graphic, which end with your PNG. So these are the types of file here. So now the SEO benefits from using image in your content. So they make your content more interesting, and this means that visitors are more likely to accurately read your article. Because what happened in the case of images here, images can create a virtual impact on your presentation. In that case, when users visit on your website, read your content, so just because of your visual representation, you make your content interesting so that more and more users read that particular content. So it's not surprised that content with the relevant image gets 94% more views than content without image. Your readers are more likely to share a page with image in social media, and the shared post has more chances of getting more social media attention than your plain text post. According to a recent study by Buffer, the post with the images get 150% more retweets in case of Twitter. They make it easier for you, means writer, to explain a concept or make it a point stronger, and it's another easy way to enforce your SEO by giving search engine the right signal on what your content is about through images. And your images can rank higher in your Google image search and get more traffic to your website. If your website is not ranking on Google, then that can be the chances that just because of your images, your image will rank on Google image search. You can also get traffic from there. Next we have how to optimize your image for search engine. So there are several elements to optimize when using image in your content. So let's see below how to best optimize your images. So the first one is optimize the image file name. The name of the image is the first thing to check before even uploading to your website. Image file name should be informative and actually describing the image. And the file name should describe the image in the least number of words possible. So just like you can see in our demo, we can use one image here, and the image name is commerce.jpeg. So this is a short name of this particular image which is relevant to your image as well as your content. Next we have Optimize the image file size. So the large images take longer to load and this can negatively impact the user experience, especially for the mobile users. So in that case, what we have to do, a good practice is to use image optimization tool that can reduce the file size of an image without losing quality. For all the images I use in my post, I first open them in pixel method. This is your pixel method. It is just like your Photoshop. You can resize them and then export them in PNG or JPG. And before uploading to my website, I optimize this particular file size with image optic. This can reduce your file size without affecting the quality. And besides optimizing, the another great tool we use for this is your image compressor. So by this way, you can reduce your file size. Next, use responsive images. This means that when you upload an image to your page or post, WordPress will create a number of small images in different sizes and will automatically fetch those to users depending on the device they are using. Either they are using mobile phone, either they are using tablet or their desktop. Next we have optimize the image alt tab. So the search engine crawler are not so good in understanding what an image is about, and although they are getting better year by year on image recognition, but they still need the help of alt text, because with the help of alt text they understand what your image is about. The next we have optimize the image caption and the title. So beside the alt text, search engine can use the image title and caption to better understand the subject matter of your image. So it is necessary to provide them with these values. Next we have optimize image placement. So you can position your image anywhere you want in the page, but if you want a particular image to be taken into account by search engine as an important image of your content, then you need to add it closer to the top with the relevant alt text, image title and caption. So in this video, I'm going to talk about content optimization. What is content optimization? What are the types of content and how you can optimize your content? So let's start with the definition on content optimization. So content optimization is the process of making sure content is written in a way that it can reach the largest possible targeted audience. What it means that this is your website, and whatever be the content in your website, now your target is that you want this content should be reached to your largest possible targeted audience. So for this, we put our SEO efforts on that, and now we learn how we can optimize our content now. So before starting with your content optimization, let's understand what are the types of content available in your website. So let's start with the first one, that is your blog post. That is the most widely used format. That can be in the form of articles, list, how-to guide, press release or any journal information. The next one we have is your static post. Static post means that is the content found on the static pages of your website, like your about us page, contact us page. These are your static posts. Next we have product pages. These are the pages that which promoting specific product or services. Next we have landing pages. Pages designed specifically to be used in your PPC campaigns as the first page users see when they visit to your website. That is your landing pages. Next is your how to optimize your content. So now let's understand how we can optimize our content. First we have with the help of SEO. Here in that case we have to focus on the topic and the keyword that are suitable for your size and your authority. And we also consider our user search intent. So that is the first way you can optimize your content.
When you are working in your website, you can use some plugin for doing SEO. That is your all-in-one SEO plugin. That is one of the plugin you can use. Your Yoast, that is also one of the plugin which you can use in your WordPress website for doing SEO. So with the help of this, you can optimize your content. This is the one way. Second, include the semantically related keyword. You can enhance your ranking prospects by including conceptually related keywords because they are also help you in ranking. Next, we have establish your structure. You can use your seed keywords to find related questions around the topic. You can focus on the topic that are efficient, means that is of low difficulty and having high volume. Next, manage keyword density. So your keyword density must be 1 or 2%. It means that how many times this particular primary keyword you put in your content. Let's suppose you have one post of 100 words and you put this particular primary keyword in 3 or 4 times. So that is your keyword stuffing. It means you are using multiple times your primary keyword just to rank your content. So your keyword density must be 1 or 2%. It means for your 100 words content, you can only use your primary keyword 1 or 2 times. Next, tool to be used, that is SEO writing assistant. You can use that. You have to add visuals in your content because your visuals, that is your images, video, they increase the engagement and make users stay longer. So you have to use visuals in your content. Next is internal linking. Internal linking allows search boards to crawl your content and it also make easier for the human to navigate your site. So you must have to put internal linking in your content. Next, cover the topic in depth. Quality of content is the king. So you must have to focus on the quality of your content because that is the one of the important way that your content is ranking. So for this, you have to cover every topic in depth. You can research your competitors' content. You can take idea from that and offer more valuable through the use of the expert insights, some graphics or original data. Next, don't ignore your technical element. For our website, just to monitor our technical element, we can take help of our Google Search Console. In our Google Search Console, we can monitor every technical element. For example, let's suppose this is your blog post and due to some technical error, any server error or any kind of error, if your site, if your page is not ranking, so you have to focus on your technical element as well because your poor technical performance can affect your SEO ranking. Pay particular attention to your meta tags and your core web vitals. These are also the part of your technical element which you can monitor through your Google Search Console. Update your content regularly. You have to ensure that your content remains up to date and accurate. Regularly audit your content to ensure that it is competitive. Next, how to optimize your content for backlinking and shares. For this, you have to become a link magnet. Don't be afraid to be controversial. Your content should be original in your ideas. You have to ensure that your content is authoritative. You can take a stand of your content, that your content have some values, have a recognizable brand voice, leverage popular trends among your backlink creator. Next is research backlink opportunity. You must have to identify suitable domain for backlinking and reach out to those websites. For example, if your website is focusing on one of the popular trending topic, for this you can also figure out some backlink opportunity. For example, Quora, that is one of the platform where you can do Q&A submission. Here you can see whatever be the question related to your website content. In that case, you can simply answer that and you can create your backlink there. That is one of the example how you can identify opportunity. You have to ensure that your content is relevant and offer genuine values. You can promote your content on social media, on social networks. So promote your social sharing, Create content that is shareable. Include unique insight, some visuals, some first-hand data. Relate to your audience and validate their options. Create an informative and engaging title, because that is more attractive and that is very much attractive for your targeted audience. Ensure that it is quick and easy for readers to share your content. You have to leverage influencers and experts. You have to reach out to your experts for quotes and insight. You can reach out to niche industry influencers if your content is relevant to their audience. You have to identify websites, forums, and social media channels where you can build relationship with your influencers. Now, optimize content for conversions. For conversion, we have to focus on our targeted audience. Use the kind of languages and the terminology. We have to use whatever be the languages our targeted audience is used, we have to use that. Whatever be the term you find that this is relevant to your content, which your audience find relevant, you have to use that. Understand their pain point. What's the pain point your audience is facing and what are the issues you have to cover. You have to take that, and whatever be the challenges, you have to understand that. Think carefully about your CTAs, your call to actions. You have to ensure that they are clear, well designed and well positioned, because position in your article, in your content matters a lot. Keep in mind where is the user journey your reader are likely to be. Write persuasively. When you write your content, in that case you have to must take care of these points, that is your format your copy effectively, focus on the reader's need, not yours. Punctuate effectively. You have to utilize relevant adjectives, and your content should be conversational. So the conclusion is that content SEO is such a huge part of your SEO, and it compresses all the aspects of writing and structuring content on your website. No one will read your content if it's crappy. Google's algorithm decides the ranking of your site largely based on the content you publish, and we all know that content is king. So you need to write awesome SEO content. You have to focus on the right keywords and the structures your website in such a way Google understands it. So that is the conclusion of content optimization. So in this video, I'm going to talk about pages, posts, how they are different from each other, categories and tags. So let's start with pages part. What are pages? In your website, pages are used to display static. That is one of type content. These are just like your company's history, about us, contact us. These all are the pages here. Basically, any content that might be considered typeless. So pages are also considered in a hierarchical, which is just a fancy way of saying you can have sub-pages as well. So these are pages. For example, if I'm talking about your pages, so in your website you have about us page, you have contact us. These all are the pages here. You have blog page here, and in your blog page, here you can find some post here. These are known as post here, and this blog is known as page here. This is the difference between your pages and the post here. So what are post? So post tends to be timely, as in they are usually the latest news for the company, and they are typically displayed in reverse chronological order. It means that the newest post being at the top. In your blog page, example, in your blog page, this is your page here. Blog is a page here. In your blog page, we have post. This is post 1 for April 25. Then another post for your March. This is another post of February 28. So this order is known as reverse chronological order. It means whatever be the new post, that should be displayed at the top. That is at the top. This is your reverse chronological order. Now, the difference between your pages and the post is here. we can categorize posts, but the pages are hierarchical. If I'm talking about categorize, here you can see when we create one particular post, here we have an option of category as well. Here you can choose your category and the tags for any particular post, but for pages you have no category and tag option available here because they are in hierarchical order. So what basically category and tags are? Category, which is used as a journal grouping of your post, much likely a table of content for your website. Let's suppose here you have e-commerce website, and in your e-commerce website, categories are the category of any particular product. For example, if I'm saying soap is a category, and if I'm saying tag is basically what type of soap. If I'm saying Dove, so this is the soap here. So for Dove, this is the tag here, and soap is the category of this particular product here. So by this way, it makes our work easier to differentiate in your product. So category is basically a grouping of your post, which is most likely a table of content for your website, and tags used as a descriptor for your content, much likely the index found at the back of the book. This is the main difference between your category and the tag here. And your great example of the tag is your receipt site. Next is how to avoid WordPress tag related issues. Distinguish between categories and tags. You can use categories for broad categorization, for example, sports, soap, and use tag for more specific, that is football or New York Just. So this is the more specific of your sports. So this is known as category and tag. Only use tag if you need tag. Now let me explain practically how you can create pages, post, category and tag. Let me explain you practically. So this is our website here. Here in this website, we have to create pages, post, and also work on the category and tags as well. For this, let me explain you how you can create pages. For page creation, here in your left hand side, we have option here, that is pages. This is the page option available here. In that case, for creation of new page, you can click on, and here we have to write the title of the page, whatever be the title you want to give. For any blog page, you can write blog here. For contact us page, you can write contact us here. For about us page, you can write about us here. So for page creation, here you have to give title. Let's suppose I just want to give title here, that is blog. So with the help of this, you can create that, as I already create my blog page here, just like this. It is visible just like this on your website screen here. So this is how you can create blog. After writing your title, if you want to add more information in your page, you can simply type here, or you can simply click on this plus sign. Here you have an option. If you want to write any paragraph, you can do that. If you want to write any heading, you can write that. If you want to add any custom HTML, any kind of coding you want to add, you can do that. List, images, or when you click on browse all option, then you also have more options to adding that. This is how you can create pages in your website. After doing that, you have to simply click on publish here. This is how you can create pages. Next, how we can create post in our website. For your post creation, you have to simply click on post. After that, you have to click on add new. Here, when you click on add new, you have to simply click that. Here you have to write title of this particular post. Let's suppose our title is what is the difference between categories and tags. Here you have to write your answer. Here you have to simply write your answer. Let's suppose this is your heading here. So in that case, you have to simply choose as a heading here. You have to write that. If this is again a heading here, you have to simply choose that and type heading here. If you want to write any paragraph, you can also, okay. So after adding this particular post, if you want to add that, in that case, what you have to do here, this is your post, and now we have to create category. For your category creation, in your setting, in your post option, now you have an option here, that is category. In case of categories, by default it is uncategorized. If you want to add any category, you have to click on add new category. Then you have to give name. That is, you have to write the name of your category. If this is your parent category, then you have to simply click on add new category. Or if this is your subcategory, in that case you have to choose your parent category. After that, you have to click on add new category. So this category is added here. Let's suppose here you have to create subcategory. So how you can do that? Here you can give simply the name of your subcategory, and after that you have to choose the name of your parent category here, and then you have to click on add new category, just like this. This is your parent category and this is your subcategory. So you can create your category just like this. After that, how you can create tags. For your tag creation, you can write tags here. Tags gives you an idea about your post, like your post is about what particular topic. For example, this is about your categories and tags. So you have to simply put that. That is your tags here. So you have to simply create your tag in this way. And after doing this, you have to simply click on publish. If you want to schedule this, then you can also do that. You have to simply click on that and you have to simply choose your public, private and password protected, whatever be the post you want to create. Or if you want to publish it immediately, then you can do that, or you can simply schedule it here. After that, you have to simply click on publish here. This is how you can create pages, post, category and tags.
Posting content on website. So in this video, I'm going to cover how you can post your content on your website. So let's start with the anatomy of a top quality of the blog post. When you are going to post your content on website, then you have to take care of these pointers. After know about these pointers, then we will cover how we can post our content on website. So let's start with the first one, that is a solid topic and focus keyword. So you have to choose a blog post topic that is somehow beneficial to your readers. Then find a related keyword that will help anchor your topic and help both human and search engine spiders know what your blog post. So you have to consider on your topic and your keywords. Next is compelling headings and subheadings. It takes time to learn how to write headings that will grab your reader's attention, but it is an essential skill because your heading is often the difference between a click or a pass. And since most visitors scan blog post, the same concept holds true for subheadings. Next is your proper formatting. So depending on the type of the blog post you write, what is considered proper formatting will vary. That said, in journal, you will want to use subheading, that is your H2, H3 and so on, and incorporate your bold, italic, lists and other similar elements to provide variety within your blog post. Next is your meta description. These are summaries that show up in the search engine result, and they are also used by social media and social bookmarking website. So you should be no longer than 159 characters. That is the limit of your meta description. So meta description are not as important in terms of SEO, but they let your readers know what to expect when they come across your page in the search engine or your social media website. Next we have medium. Every post should include at least one image and other form of media if possible. Videos, infographics, podcasts, and audio files enhance the reader's experience and increase your social sharing. Also, not all of your websites will be able to read every post. Some might need to listen to a podcast as they work out or commute to work. As you get to know your audience, your choice of media should become more targeted. Next is a conclusion and call to action. Conclusion helps readers to digest your blog content and decide what to do next, and your call to action encourages readers to engage with your blogging content. Next, we have appropriate linking. Aside from making you look unprofessional, broken links can lead search engine crawler to believe that your website is untrustworthy, which can cause your site ranking to plummet. So you have to use appropriate linking in your content. Next, we have categories and tags. Aside from helping your structure blog post topic, categories communicate to search engine the core concept within about on your blog. Similarly, tags have a broader reach and should incorporate related terms. Next, we have editing. Regardless of how many times you read your article in the Visuals or text editor, reading it as a WordPress preview should definitely be a part of your routine. This is the best way to edit and proofread your blog post because it allows you to see the bigger picture and pick up on the types structural problems you would have otherwise missed. Next, we have scheduling. You are not writing something that you will publish straight away, right? Of course not. Your educational calendar is planned out in advance. With that in mind, once you have finished a post, then you need to reschedule. Then you need to schedule it. These are the some pointers you have to keep in mind before writing your post. So now, let's start with a live demo on how you can post your content on your website. Let me show you live demo on that. For this, let me visit to my website. This is my website here. In my website, we have a page here that is blog post. In your blog page, here I have to add one post. And now, let me explain you how you can add post on this particular page. This is your blog page and these are the posts which is right now available. This is the post here. And similarly, I will explain you how you can add this particular post in your page. For adding your post, what you have to do, in your left hand side of your WordPress dashboard, you have a section here that is known as post. So for adding any new post, you have to click on add new. Let me click on that. Now in your new post section, here I have to add one eye-catching title. You can also cross-verify your title score in your heading analyzer. We have one tool here which is known as heading analyzer. You have to simply type in Google just like this, and here you can find option that is your post scheduler and this is your heading analyzer. You have to select that and you have to type your heading there, and after that you can get score here. So in the same way, you have to write your title here, and in your heading analyzer, which is by default in your WordPress dashboard, here you can get the score here. Let's suppose here I'm writing what is the difference between heading and. So here you can see that your score is 66 out of 100, which is in green. It means your heading is fine. Here, when you write any heading in your content, in your blog post, here you have to take care of some pointers. That is, you have to use powerful words. You have to use your primary keyword in your title. If possible, you can add your title in the beginning. So you have to take care about these pointers which can increase your score. So here you have to mention your heading here, heading of the post. After adding heading of the post, the next step is to add your content. So you have different type of content which you want to add. Your content, maybe you want to add some heading, you want to add paragraph, you want to add any image, you want to add any image plus text, any kind of content format you can add here in your post. For adding any kind of content, you have to simply click on this plus box which is available here. In your plus box, you have options here. If you want to add any paragraph, you can add that. If you want to add any heading, you have to click on that. If you want to add any kind of coding like, for example, if in your post you want to add any kind of map, So for that, you have to simply go on Google Map. You have to simply copy your HTML code there, and just choosing custom HTML section, you can simply paste your code there. This is the use of custom HTML. If you want to add any kind of list here, you can use that. If you want to add any image in your post, you can simply choose that. If you want to add any form, then you can simply choose that. For other options, you have to click on browse all. Here you can see in our left hand side, we have all the options available here, which we can use in adding our post section. So here you can see we have media and text, from where we can also add our media file, and we can also write our text accordingly. So by this way, you can simply create your post. Here we have one option which is known as more, that is your read more option, which we can use if our blog post is more. And here, if you want to add this particular read more section after one paragraph, you can use that. Just like from taking example here, that is heading. Let's suppose here you have heading, subhead, and after that, if you want to add your read more option, then you can choose that. Here you have to simply type more, and you can simply add that. And after read more, you can add your remaining content. This is the use of read more option. You can also explore more option by simply click on that. You have to choose your browse all option. If you want to add any kind of table, you can also add that. Here we have different options available here. So just by creating your own post, here you have to publish your post. So your first block we have is post status and visibility. In that, first of all, you have to choose this particular post you want to be in public or private. If this is your private post, you have to simply click on that, and you can choose private here. If this is your password protected post, then you have to simply choose that password protected. And if this is your public, then you have to choose public here. Now publish. If you want to publish it immediately, in that case you have to choose immediately here. Or if you want to schedule it, then you have to simply click on that and set the date and the timing on which you want your post should be scheduled. After that, we have another option here. If you want to categorize your post, then you can do categorization. Categories and tag are also explained in our category and tag video. So you can also learn this from there. And this is the link of your post here. This is a Parama link here. Here you can also reset your Parama link from here. Here you can see that. This is the link available. So this is the post here. After creation of your post, now if you want to do SEO of your post, you can take help of one of the plugin which is known as all-in-one SEO. In our further video of SEO of your post, we will learn how you can do SEO of this particular post. In this video, we will only learn how we can create post for your website. After done with your posting part, then you have to simply click on publish, or if you want to see preview of your post, then you have to click on preview, and here you can see how your post is look like in your website. So this is all about how you can post content on your website. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to do SEO of your blog post. So in this video, we will learn what are the pointers we have to keep in mind before start doing SEO of your blog post. So let's start with some of the important points you have to keep in mind. First, we have use one or two long tail keywords. As we all know that long tail keywords are more impactful in terms of SEO than your short tail keywords. Your long tail keywords, for example, how to write a blog post. This is your long tail keyword. This is the example of your long tail keyword. And your short keyword is just like your blog post. This is your short keyword. So as we all know that how to write a blog post. This is much more impactful in terms of SEO than the short keyword blog post. Next is use keyword strategically throughout the blog post. There are 4 essential places where you should try to include your keyword. That is your title tag, header and body, URL and most important meta description. So these are the 4 essential part. You have to use your keyword there. Next is optimize for mobile device. For this, you have to use responsive design. Websites that are responsive to mobile allow blog pages to have one URL instead of 2, one for desktop and one for mobile respectively. Next, we have optimize the meta description. As we all know, the meta description, which is very important in terms of SEO, because that is the text which your user can see on the first page of your Google. This is the first description of your customer before visiting on your website. So you must have to put your keyword in your meta description. This is most essential part here. Next, we have appropriate linking. Aside from making you look unprofessional, broken links can lead search engine crawler to believe that your website is untrustworthy, which can cause your site ranking to plummet. So you have to do appropriate linking. You must have to check that there is no 404 error in any of the pages you linked. There is all the pages which you link is appropriately linked. Next, we have category and tags. So aside from helping your structure blog post topic, categories communicate to search engine that the core concept written about on your blog. Similarly, tags have a broader reach and should incorporate related terms. Category and tags, as we already discussed in our category and tags video. What are category and tags? Basically categories. This can categorize your post. For example, if I'm saying sports, this is your category here. And if I'm saying football, this is your tag here, which can define your post. Next, we have editing. Regardless of how many times you read your article in the visual or the text editor, reading it as a WordPress review should definitely be the part of your reading. This is the best way to edit and proofread your blog post because it allows you to see the bigger picture and pick up on type structural problem you would have otherwise missed. Next, we have scheduling. Scheduling, that is your editorial calendar, is planned out in advance. With that in mind, once you finish a post, you can schedule it. Or you can also post it publicly if you want to publish right now. So these are the very basic pointers you have to keep in mind when you start doing your SEO. Now, let me explain you practically that with the help of some plugin, how you can do SEO of your blog post. For this, let me take example of one of the website here. This is our website here. Let me log in that. And now I'm just taking one blog post here. And now I will explain you how you can do SEO of this particular blog post. Here you can see that this is a blog post here, that what's the difference between e-commerce website and traditional website. And here you can see that my score is 90/100. And for this, here I installed one of the plugin here, that is AIO SEO. That is one of the plugin. You can download it from here. Here you have a plugin. You have to click on add new. In the plugin section, you have to search AIO SEO, all-in-one SEO. That is your all-in-one SEO plugin. Here you can see this is your all-in-one SEO plugin here. Here you can simply click on install now. After that, you have to click on activate. After done with that, this is the plugin which is installed in your WordPress window. After done with that part, what you have to do, you have to simply click on setting and you have to simply go to your all-in-one SEO setting and you can do it from there. This is one of the essential part. Before start doing SEO, you have to install that particular plugin in your WordPress window. After done with that, what you have to do, let me explain you how to do SEO of your post. First, you have to visit on your post. Let me click on all post here. This is the post section. After that, let me open my post here. This is the post. And now I will explain you how you can do SEO of this post. For doing SEO, what you have to do, here you can see that this is your all-in-one SEO score. This is your heading analyzer score. So first of all, you have to look at your heading analyzer score. This is your heading here. For this particular heading, you have to follow all the points which we discussed earlier. That is, you have to use your long tail keyword. And here you can see that my keyword is this. This is my keyword here. That is e-commerce. That is a very short keyword here which I'm using here. This is our keyword. This is the title here. You must include that particular keyword in your title, in your first paragraph, any URL which you use here. See, here you can see this is our subheading here. I also use that particular keyword in my subheading. Here, for any linking, see, this is the URL here. In this particular URL, I use this particular text here. You have to use this particular keyword in your meta description. Any image, alt text, you have to use that particular keyword also there. So this is the first point you have to consider. After that, what you have to do, see, this is my blog post here. So for doing SEO, what you have to do, just scroll down. This is your all-in-one SEO setting. And now you have to do all-in-one SEO setting of this particular post. For this, let me click on journal. This is your snippet preview, that how this particular post look like. Here you can see this is the title here, and after that this is the description here, and this is the permalink here. So what you have to do here, this is your post title. First of all, you have to select one particular title of your post. In this title, you must include your keyword there. Here I am using my keyword, and I also use this particular keyword in the beginning of my title. So this is the keyword and this is the beginning of your title here. I'm just using separator here, and then this is your site title here. After that, you have to write one meta description here. Here I write one meta description, and this is my keyword here. This is my keyword. After that, this is your keyword here. You must have to mention that particular keyword there. This is your keyword again. So these are the pointers here that your focus key phrase in your SEO title, you are done with that. Your focus key phrase in your meta description, your focus keyword key phrase length, that is also good here. Focus keyword in your URL, you have to mention your keyword in your URL here. You must have to mention your focus keyword in your introduction, that is the first paragraph of your post. You have to mention your focus keyword in the subheading, that is your H2 heading. If you are using your H2 heading, you have to mention your H2 and H3 heading. You have to mention your keyword there, that is 75%. You have to keep in mind these points here. After that, this is the page analysis, that is your focus keyword. You already mentioned that particular keyword in your content, in your introduction part, in your meta description, in your URL, and your focus keyword length is also fine here. Meta description length, you must have to take care about your meta description length, that is too short here, so you have to keep in mind these points here. Content length, your internal linking, external linking, you must have to take care about the internal linking and the external linking part. How you can do internal linking, let me explain you. Internal linking, when you connect your post with another post of your website, that is the internal linking. For example, if I'm saying this, here I'm doing external linking here, that is what you have to do. You have to simply set, for example, this is the word here, and I simply select that. For example, you can select that. After done with the selection part, you have to click on this icon here, that is your internal linking. In your internal or external linking, you can select that. Here you have to mention that particular URL. For example, if the linking is of same post of the same website, in that case you have to mention that particular link of your website, just to mention the internal linking here. After done with that, if you want to do any external linking, you can mention external link URL here. If you want to do internal linking, then you have to mention internal link URL there. After done with that part, here we have option. That is, if you want that this particular URL is open in new tab. What is that funda? That is, for example, if you are doing external linking. In that case, for example, if user simply click on that external link text, then they totally involved in that particular scenario and they totally forget about this particular post. Now what we want that user must engage in our post as well instead of your external post. So in that case, what we can do, we can simply click on that this particular post is open in the another tab and our post is remain in this particular tab here. So that's why I'm using this particular option here. If you want that open in new tab, this is mainly for your external linking. You can also use it for your internal linking as well. Next is your add no follow to link. If you want to mention this particular link in your no follow or in your sponsors, you can use that. That is the option here. Now if you want to use any title attribute to your link, you can also mention that. You can also mention your focus key phrase here if you want. So you must include external linking and internal linking your post. This can impact your SEO score. After done with your external linking and internal linking, now let me explain you title part here. For title part, your title is good and your focus keyword is also at the beginning, so that is also fine, and your title length is also good here. Now if I'm talking about readability, in that case you must have to mention one image and video part in your post. Your paragraph length would also be fine. Sentence keys, that is, you must have to use particular keyword there, that is 34.8% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, which is more than the recommended maximum of the 25%. Try to shorten the sentences. In that case, what you have to do, you have to keep your sentences as shorter and clear. You must have to use your bullet point just to improve your sentences length. In that case, you are not putting so many words in a single sentence that can impact your visibility as well. Next is your passive voice, that is also fine here. Your transactions word, that should also be fine here. Consecutive sentences, subheading distribution, that should be fine here. And your flash reading ends, that is also fine here. So you have to must take care about these readability scenario here for this particular post. Now these are the very general setting of your all-in-one SEO. Now let's move to another point of SEO. In the right hand side here you can see that we have post and blog setting here. Here you can see this is your status and visibility. Now if you want to schedule your post, what you can do, you have to simply click on visibility. Here we have a public section. If you want to do it password protected, you have to choose that. If you want to make it public, then you have to choose public. If you want to make private, then you can choose that. After that, this is the publish here. Now if you want to publish it immediately, then you can do that. Now if you want to schedule it, you have to simply click on that. And here you can select your date and the timing of this particular post here. After that, you can simply select like stick to the top of the blog. You can post your blog post there. This is your author section here. After that, here you can see this is the monster insight of your post. As I already download this plugin here. So if you want to do monster insight, that is basically if you want to do analysis of your post, in that case you can simply download this. After that, we have all-in-one SEO section here. Here you can check that visibility is good, SEO analytics, that is also fine. Your focus key phrase, readability. These are the pointers which we already done in our all-in-one SEO setting part. After that, here you can see that we have a permalink here. Here this is your URL slug here. You have to put your focus key phrase here. That particular key phrase which is added in your permalink. So this is your permalink here. And here you can see that in this particular URL, this particular slug is mentioned here. So you can mention your particular key phrase in this URL slug here. After done with that, here we have a category and tags part. In this category and tags, what we can do, here you can select category. For selecting your category, you can select category as well as your subcategory. How you can do that, as I already mentioned all these factors in our category and tags video, that how you can create category and tags in your particular post. So you can select your category from here, you can mention your tags here. Just like for this, if you want to add tag status like this, then put comma there just to make it separate. This is your e-commerce, that is one of the tag here. Similarly, you can add another tag as well. You must have to mention one feature image here, just like as I mentioned here, and that feature image should have a size at least 1200 by 675 pixels. You can use that. After that, these are the some basic settings here which you can do in your post here, just to do SEO of your post. So this is all about how you can do SEO of your particular post. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to do SEO of home page. In this video, we will learn different type of home page, and we will also learn how you can do SEO of that particular home page. So let's start with the basic definition of home page SEO. The home page SEO is one of the most important pages of your website. You need to SEO your home page even if it is one of the page you expect to higher rank. Now the question is, why you should optimize your home page? Why it is necessary? It is necessary because in many cases, it is the first page users see, especially for the corporate website, and it is one of the pages users will visit even if they land on any other page of your website. They will visit your home page to find out more about your blog or your business. SEO wise, it is very important since it is a perfect opportunity to give Google a big hit through your title, description, your content on what the website is all about. And Google will use this information to create your website, and with the help of this information, your website will entry in your search engine result page when the people search for your domain name. So that's why I'm saying that it is really important to do SEO of your home page. We have some basic features which is very essential in your home page. And what are these features? That is your logo, navigation, that is your navigation path, your headlines, that is also one of the important feature here, your call to action buttons that should be clearly visible, your social proof, you have to mention your social handles at your home page, photos, some photos related to your businesses, related to your services, text content, your footer. These are some bonus features which you must include in your home page just to rank your website. Now, the question is, how to do SEO of your home page. To do SEO of your home page, we have some pointers here which we have to keep in mind before doing SEO. First is optimizing home page title. When you start doing SEO of your home page, you have to take care about your title part. Your title, you should keep length of the title close to your 60 character. You have to add your domain name in the beginning, and you have to include your target keyword in your title, and if possible, please add this particular keyword in the beginning of your title. After done with your title part, you have to take care about your meta description. In that case, you have to include your targeted keyword in your meta description. You have to make this interesting because this is the first text, first description user reading on the Google first page before visiting to your website. So you have to mention particular targeted keyword, you have to keep it interesting and increase user to visit to your. After your meta description, the third one we have is our optimizing H1 tag. H1 tag, that is your header tag, that is your main heading. So you have to make sure that there is only one H1 tag on your homepage, and that include your targeted keywords or the related keywords in the H1 tag and other headings as well, that is your H2, H3. Next, after your H1 tag, the next we have is your call to action button and the text. So your all clear call to actions link to help users find your product or services, that should be clearly visible. Add element to establish trust with the user, that is your testimonials, your reviews, you have to add that. Then homepage image SEO, that is also one of the important features in our on-page SEO, image SEO part, as I already discussed about techniques of doing image SEO. In case of homepage SEO, you also have to take care about all these techniques. Make sure that all the images have an alt text, and you have to mention your targeted keyword in your alt text also. Optimize the file name. File name, for example, if you have any image, you have to mention that image name. In spite of using 1, 2, 3, this type of name, you can simply use a particular file name, that is flower.png. This kind of name you have to use. Then compress image to raw first, because if your image is having large size, in that case your page load speed will impact. So you have to compress your image to load faster. Next we have optimize your logo. Logo is most important in case of homepage SEO. In that case, you have to take care about your alt text and your file name. Whatever be your website is about, you have to write that particular name as a file name. In spite of adding non-readable character, you have to mention a particular name. Then you have to mention alt text, and in case of alt text, you have to mention your targeted keyword. Add proper structural data markup to your homepage. Whatever be your website is about, you have to keep in mind about the structure of your data. So your data structure would be appropriately handled here. Next we have is the content SEO. That is also one of the important features if I'm talking about homepage SEO. Make sure that your homepage has text content, and you have to use that text content for links. Make sure to include your target keyword and variations in the homepage. So that is some of the ways you have to do your homepage SEO. Let me practically explain you how you can do homepage SEO. So another pointers we have is optimize homepage loading speed. That is also one of the important factors here, because your loading speed will directly impact your user's experience. You have to consider moving to a VPS. Keep your software up to date. You have to use your Google Lighthouse to analyze your speed, or to analyze your speed you can consider Monster Insight. That is also one of the tool here. In Google Search Console, you can also monitor your speed. You can use a streaming services for the video. Make sure that your homepage is mobile friendly. That is also one of the important features here. Make sure that your homepage has all the content of the desktop or desktop homepage. Make sure that homepage has an SSL installed. Just for the security purpose, you have to ensure that your website is SSL certified. You have to take care about your site structure and navigation. So you have to make sure that all the important pages are linked to from the homepage, and make sure that users can access any page in less than 3 clicks starting from your homepage. Review site link shown in the Google search and adjust your navigation and homepage structure. So you have to take care about site structure. Now the conclusion is that homepage SEO is important for all kind of websites. Either it is your blog website, it is your personal website, it is your business website. In all the websites you need homepage SEO, because let's suppose if someone visits to any page of your website, so just to explore more about your website, they visit on your homepage, and homepage gives your users an experience that what your website is all about, what your business is all about. So the homepage is the front door of your business or a blog, and should have a clear structure, load fast, and give users options in the details about your website's content. So let me practically explain you how you can do homepage SEO of your. So this is my website here, and in this website now I have to do SEO of my homepage. This is my homepage, and now I want to do SEO of this particular homepage. So for doing SEO, this is my title here, that is Digital Marketing Academy, and this is the subheading here. So I have to take care about this particular heading here. What I have to do, let me click on this WordPress website. Let me log in that, and as I already logged in, here these are the pages we have. This is my front page. This is my home page. In your pages section, when you simply click on all pages, you will find your front page or your title page, whatever your home page is. Then I thought visit on setting. In setting, we have an option here that is reading, in which you can set your home page, your blog page. In that case, this is your home page display, that is your static. You have to select your static pages. And in this is the option of your home page. Whatever be the page you want to consider as a home page, you have to select that. Here, this is my home page here. Then I select that and then simply scroll down and click Save Changes. For post, I selected here blog page. For home page, I selected this. After that, I simply click on Save Changes. Now, just to do SEO, as I already installed SEO plugin, that is all-in-one SEO. This is the plugin here. As I already installed this, so with the help of this particular plugin, now I will do SEO of my home page. I simply click on all pages, then click on front page. Click on front page, click edit. And now I have to do SEO of this particular page. This is my home page and now I want to do SEO. For SEO, as I already discussed in SEO of the post part, that how to do SEO of this particular page. For doing SEO, let me scroll down and visit it on my AIO SEO setting. In that case, this is the snippet review where you can see your permalink, title and meta description. After that, we have our page title. In case of page title, I simply mention one title here, that is my page title, separator, citing. If you want to write manually, then you have to simply click here, erase that and simply type whatever with the title you want. For writing your title, the necessary thing you have is that you have to mention your focus key phrase here. You have to mention your targeted keyword. After that, we have meta description. In case of meta description, this is the meta description we have, where I simply mention my focus keyword here. My keyword is digital marketing and that keyword I mentioned at the top of my title and the beginning of my title and also in the meta description. After that, we have page analysis. So we have to take care about this page analysis. That is my meta description length, which is too short here. So I have to keep it in 169 character. Next is your content length. Next, we have internal and external link. In case of home page, you have to consider your internal and external link as well. So these are some basic settings you have to take care about. Then in case of title, you have to take care about your title length and your title character. Same in the case of your meta description, you have to take care about your focus key phrase and you also have to take care about your meta description length. After that, you have to take care about your readability settings. So this is all about your home page SEO, how you can do settings about your home page. Here you can see in the permalink, this is the link here. This is a featured image here. So in case of home page, you can do this type of setting. Categories and subcategories is not available in this home page here. This is the difference between your home page and other pages here. In this video, we will learn about internal linking, which is most important part of on-page SEO. In this video, we will learn what is bad link, what is good link, and how you can do internal linking of your post in the website. So let's start with a basic definition of internal linking. What is internal linking? So the internal links are the links that go from one page on a domain to a different page on the same domain. It means, for example, this is your website. This is your domain name. You have one page on this particular domain. Then you want to connect this particular page to another page of the same domain. This is known as internal linking. But if you want to connect this particular page to the another page of the another domain, let's suppose this is another domain and this is the page of this particular domain. This is known as external linking. So the linking between these two is known as internal and the linking between these two is known as external. They are commonly used in the main navigation. In your home page, when you see that we have different pages available here, now if you want to connect one page of the same domain to the another page of the same domain, in that case we need internal linking. In internal link is one that points to the another page of the same website. The HTML code for internal linking. If you are using WordPress for your website, in that case you don't need to mention your HTML code. But if you are working on another language, in your HTML code we have one attribute here which is known as A. This is your anchor. This is your one of the attribute of your HTML code. A tag we are using here, that is your A. Title, this is an internal link. This is the text of this particular link. Then href equals, and this is the link, whatever be the link you want to connect it with your link text. By this code we can simply connect our one page of the same domain to the another page of the same domain. Now the question is, why we do internal linking? Why it is important? It is important because it makes your website navigation easier. For example, if your user is reading information on the one page, and now for example, for this particular word, if user want to gain some more information and that information is also available on your website, in that case you can simply connect this word, this text to the another page of your website, so that your user will also visit that particular page for more information. So this will make navigation easier for your user. Associate pages of the same site together. Just to make connectivity between these two pages, we are using internal link here. Distribute your page rank, that is your link juice of the page around the website. Help search engine discover the important pages of your website. For example, if your Google crawler can read this particular information of that page, and if you connect this particular page to the another page, then your Google search crawler also visit that particular page and crawl all the information of another page. So that is also one of the important factors that we are doing internal linking here. Now the question is, what are the difference between good and the bad internal link? So let me explain you what is good internal linking. In case of good internal linking, when you connect all the pages of your website to each other. Let's suppose this is your home page and you connect your home page with your page A, page D, page C and page G. And then further you connect another pages in same way, like connect page E with your page F and then page F with your page B. In the same way you connect other pages as well. So this is known as good internal linking, when all the pages of your website are connected with. In case of poor internal linking, when you are not connected the pages of your website with each other, this is known as poor internal linking. Internal linking distribute link juice to internal pages. Internal link juice is distributed from home page to the internal page of the website. Just like you're seeing here, this is your home page. And the internal link juice is distributed between page 1, page 2 and page 3. This improves the page rank of the internal pages and make them more descriptive to search engine. Should you no follow internal links? Now when we put linking, in that case we have one option here, that is do follow or no follow. Let me show you a live example how you can do internal linking and when this option is visible. Let me show you. For this particular page, if you want to do internal linking in this particular page, in that case, you have to select that particular text which you want to connect. For example, I simply select the text. Here we have one option here, that is link, or you can simply press Ctrl+A to do linking. Click on that and here you have to mention that particular URL. For example, if the URL is from your website, in that case you have to put your URL there, and then you have to select add no follow to link if you want to add your internal link to no follow. If you want that this particular page will open in the new tab, then you have to click on open in new tab. This is how you can put internal linking here. Just like you can see here that here this is the option here. We already added this particular URL as an internal linking. So in the same way you can create internal linking in your pages. Now the question is, should you no-follow internally? A link, whether this is an external link or internal, is a signal that you trust that particular page, and it is said that it passes page rank from your page to the internal link. And when you add the no-follow in a link, is like telling search engine not to take into account the particular link as a vote of trust to the linking website. So in that case, for your internal linking, this is the page of your website. In that case, you don't need to put your page in no-follow link. But if you are adding your external link, in that case, you are using this particular feature, you can add your page in no-follow option. So you should no-follow in internal link when it points to a page that is not accessible by search. For example, your page is behind a login page. So all these pages you can put in no-follow, and the link goes to a page that is not important. Any tagged pages, I usually no-follow all my tag pages since I need to give more value to the actual page and don't want to rank my tag pages. In that case, you are using no-follow. So the best practices of the internal linking, this is the checklist we have. Let me quickly revise that particular checklist. Add internal link when it is useful for the user's experience. Add keyword, your targeted keyword in the anchor text. Try not to use more than 6 to 7 internal links per page within the text, body text. Use the no-follow tag wisely, as I already discussed when you should use no-follow. Make sure that you do not have any broken internal links. When you do connectivity of your pages, in that case, you must have to take care about that. Whatever be the page you linked, that is not broken link or any 404 error page. So you have to check that. Link related pages together. Make sure that the pages you want to rank higher in the search engine have a great number of internal links. So this is the checklist we have. You can use the internal links report under the section that is search traffic in our Google Webmaster Tool, that is our Google Search Console, to find out the status of your internal link building. From there, we can track our internal links. Use text content for your internal links. Adding internal links to images is not useful. In case of images, we are not using our internal link. Only in case of text, we are using internal link. Make sure that the total number of links per page, that is totally internally or externally, is no more than 100. So you have to take care about these pointers when you are doing internal link. Now, the conclusion is, if you follow the best practices outlined above, then the internal links can only benefit a website and make the user experience better and enjoyable. So consider internal links as a way to create your own. So in this video, I'm going to talk about on-page SEO optimization sheet. This is a sheet which includes all the factors responsible for on-page SEO optimization. In this particular sheet, I will explain you how you can create your own sheet and how you can note down all the factors of your on-page SEO. This SEO template will let you organize your website's on-page SEO, formalize a plan, making it easier to coordinate pages and keywords, and track changes and the result all in one place. To make this template easy to use, this cover sheet will break down how to use each section. I will explain you how to use this particular template. First we have is the content type. This is the content type. So content type denotes the type of the pages you are working on. Is it your home page, your internal page? Is it a landing page or a blog post, a product page or a thank you page? So it's important to note which page you are editing to keep track of. Now, how the edits related to the overall mission of the pages, you have to decide that. You have to note down all the pages here. After that, we have current URL. In case of current URL, it is something that can be entered manually or exported from a site crawler report. Next we have is current page type. That is a page title will be exported with either tool or you can simply mention it from your website. For example, This is your company name. This is your home page current title here. This is the title here. This is the length here, length of your title. This is the length here. Now the current page description, that is the page description which is currently available. This is the length of your page description, and that length should be 150 maximum length. And here, as you see, that current page description length is 67. It means you need to add some more characters here. Now, what's the purpose of your page? This is something you will want to manually define. That is perhaps for each page or for a group of pages. You have to decide the overall goal of this page. Is it to provide product information, define solutions, serve FAQs, etc.? What's the end goal? Has the content of this page delivered that purpose? You have to mention it. Next we have is who is the targeted audience. Everything with the SEO start with this key concept. Your targeted audience or buyer persona, as it's mentioned called, is the one for whom you are writing your content. If you do not know who you are writing for your content, will be aimless. So clearly define which persona type a page targets. Then you have added date. Make a manual note each time you edit a particular page. In the end, you cannot edit all the pages at once, so it will be good to note when changes occur, especially if you have to report progress back to someone, like your boss or your client. Next we have is the new page title. This is where the planning starts. That is the new page. Means manually note or plan what you want your new page title to be for a particular page. Best practice for the page title is keyword variation. See example, that is internet marketing software, product name and time. And this is the length of your page title here. Then we have new page description. That is, you have to enter your new page description. This should be a short declarative sentence that incorporates your keyword as you lay it out in your page title in sum. It should not have the content variation as you have it other. This is the length of your description. The length columns will make you sure that you adhere to 13 characters limit, and this will automatically be calculated for you. And this recommended length of the page description is 150 characters. Next we have target keyword. Think of your target keyword as the designated topic for a particular page. Define one topic only per page. This allows you to go more into depth and provide detailed information. This means that you are also only optimized for one keyword per page. There are a few exceptions to the rule. For instance, your homepage. The goal of your homepage is to explain what your entire website or the business is about, and thus you will need a few, that is typically 4, to do that. Overview pages like your product page, which outline what all of your products may also be optimized for a few keywords. Ultimately, this is the best interest of your readers or your audience because you are helping to explain content and context. Next we have is the content. That is, your content need to be thoughtful, clear and provide solutions. Again, write for your targeted audience. How can you help them? Compiling content is also error-free. Check spellings and grammar. Aims to have at least 500 words per page. Format content to make it easier to read and digest. Next we have header. The use of headers as formatting help make content easier to read and digest. It provides visual cues to your readers and search engine. Typically, the very first header is a H1 on a page. That is not always the case, not necessary, as long as you have clearly defined the purpose of the page somewhere at the top. Next we have subheaders. Subheaders serve the same purpose as headers, only to break up the content visually further into smaller bite size. Next we have images. Another great visual cue to your readers is an image. An image on your page, especially for your blog post, is a great anchor and draw to your content. Have the image be relevant and related to your content and large enough to draw interest. Be sure to the name and the image file appropriately. The same rule applies. Name it with the keywords and provide context to. Then again, for your alt text, your anchor text, that is your internal linking. In case of internal linking, anytime you have content that makes a reference, you need to provide a link to that reference source, where it is your own content or your outside content. When you link to your outside sources, you have the option to passing SEO credit or not. That is no follow. When you do not pass credit, that link is your no follow. Means a search engine crawler will not follow the URL or the link as long as the site is a reputable source. However, the best practice is to provide SEO credit to that source as you link to it. You should also link to content that provide more in-depth information. For instance, if you have an overview page where the goal is just to highlight and briefly touch upon a subject, and you have a deeper internal pages that goes into more detail, be sure to link to that internal pages. The text you use to create the hyperlink is called anchor text. Often you will see the word here, that is click here and read more, as an anchor text. That works when appropriate, however, whenever possible, naturally incorporate a few words. Next we have description pages. You can also add your description pages link here. Next we have social media sharing. As we all know that social is a big SEO component. So how the people use your content is a critical factor of the page performance. So make it easier for your people to share your content by including your share link in a visual. Next we have call to actions. So every page of your website is a conversion opportunity, and every page of your website must include at least one call to action. Many pages may have multiple call to action. When possible, include a call to action at each stage of your buying funnel. TOFU, that is your top of the funnel. Middle of the funnel, that is your MOFU. And bottom of the funnel, that is your BOFU. As you add or credit or update call to action, perhaps making them more relevant, be sure to also note conversion rate. And then you have notes. In case of notes, make sure if needed, you may want to note if a page needs to be updated entirely because the content is out of date, or perhaps a topic needs to be explained. So this is my optimization template. I will also mention this particular template link in my description. So you can also download this particular sheet from there. Here is a video for you which explain you about on-page SEO checklist. In this video, we will cover all the on-page SEO factors which are responsible for your website ranking. So let's start with the checklist part. What are the essential factors which are responsible? Let's cover all the factors in a single video. So the first factor is keyword research. You have to perform keyword research to find the top keywords. Choose one primary keyword for your content and make sure that the primary keyword is not assigned to another piece of content. Choose 3 to 5 related keywords, or you can say semantic keywords for your content. Write a title that includes the primary keyword. Wrap up the title in H1 tag. Write more than 300 words of the body text. Write original content. Write high quality content. Write for an 8-grade reading level. Add the primary keyword with 2 to 3 keyword density. Use each related keywords at least once in the body. Make your content scannable, in which where there is no spelling error, any punctuation error in your content. Wrap your subtitles in an H2 tag. Use the primary keyword in at least one subheading. Use the primary keyword in the first and the last paragraph of your content. Add relevant internal links using targeted anchor text. Add relevant links to high quality sites. Set outbound link, or you can say external link, to open up new pages. Add at least one image. Add the primary keyword to the image file name. and your image title and also your image context. Set the image size properly. Write in SEO friendly URL that includes a friendly keyword. Your SEO friendly URL, like which is readable by you as well as readable by your search engine. Assign relevant tags and categories as it's not your blog post. Add an optimized meta title. Add an optimized meta description. Add structured data markup. You have to add social sharing, which is very important. Proofread your content before publish. Check your work. So in this video, I'm going to talk about golden rules for first page ranking. So let's start with rule number 1. That is ensure security. Websites with SSL certified have become a fixed standard which must also be observed for search engine optimization. Your website must having SSL certified. What is the difference between the website having SSL certified or the website who are not having SSL certified? The difference is this HTTP. If your website is not having SSL certified, in that case, that protocol is your HTTP protocol. And if your website is SSL certified, in that case your protocol is HTTPS. S stands for secure website. Just to make your website protected, your website must be SSL certified. Rule number 2, your page speed optimization. As we all know that page speed plays a very important role in terms of SEO. So eliminate resources that block the render of your website. We have to take care about that. Postponing invisible images, that is your off-screen images that appear just below the fold. Reduce load on the main thread, that is the saving time by reducing, parsing, compiling and executing your JavaScript. Provide modern image formats to enable faster loading of the images. So these are some of the ways we can do page speed optimization, because page speed plays an important role in your user experience. Rule number 3, optimize mobile presentation. In case of mobile presentation, your website should be fast loading time, recognizable font size, and you have SUSAG finger operability, that is your sufficient space between the different side elements. And here as you can see that this is your desktop, this is your mobile phone. So your website must be responsive. In that case, their mobile representation should also be fine. Make content accessible. In that case, people also supposed to find certain content, so make it easy as possible for them. You have to ensure a clean information architecture and a simple hierarchy of your website. Next is our rule number 5, that is you have to use clean URL. Clean URL, which is very simple and short, in which you use your keywords. You should avoid special characters in your clear URL. That should be your search engine crawler friendly and your user friendly. Use the minus sign as a separator. Use only lowercase. If I'm talking about your URL, if you are using this sign like example minus example, this is the best way in spite of using hyphen, that is example example. This is the wrong way. Next we have rule number 6, that is you have to optimize your title tag. As just look at here, these all are the title tags here. Every URL should have an individual title. The keyword should be at the beginning as much as possible. And the title should consist of no more than 70 characters. And the title should animate the user to click. Rule number 7 is for your meta description. You have to optimize meta description. That is at least 80 character and maximum of 150 characters including spaces. If you exceed this value, the Google simply cut off the meta description and replaces the last character with this keyword at the beginning of the first 80 character. The keyword are highlighted in the bold in the search result. Use a clear call to action to have a positive impact on the click rate within the Google result. Clear call to actions. Let's suppose in case of meta description, you can also mention like learn with us. This is also one of the call to action button. So you have to use these clear call to action to have a positive impact on the web. Rule number 8. You have to optimize your heading, that is consistent with the title tag and the meta description. Your heading should be short and memorable, that should be informative, and you also have to use your keyword in your heading. Rule number 9, provide content with added value. So every text should be unique on the web. Every text should offer the user added value. Structure your text accessible. And rule number 10 is earn backlinks. That is also one of the important factor for your page ranking. Backlinks are important to search engine because they are a signal that the site being linked to has quality, worthwhile information on a topic relevant to the site linking to it. So these are the golden rules for your page ranking. Thank you so much for watching this video.